The starters for Tusculum: in goal, number 1, Alejandro Cariti. Number 20, Dario Ubich. Number 3, Paul Perro. Number 5, Clayman Dargon. Number 8, Fabian Prost. Number 9, Edgar Cervantes. Number 12, Ayat Tombe. Number 13, Sean Foster. Number 16, Enrique Devens. Number 18, Matthias Grimstad. And number 25, Jadorius Parkosakis. The assistant coaches for Tusculum are Jonathan Houghton and Steve Crouch. And the head coach of Tusculum is Alan Vital. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad. And now please join us in the playing of our national anthem. Young Harrison, the NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Young Harris College, the YHC Soccer and Lacrosse Field on the campus of Young Harris College. For soccer national tournament, Division II, Young Harris College playing the host. Combatants tonight, Tusculum University, the Pioneers, and Queens University of Charlotte, the Royals. Tommy Jenkins and John Krieger sitting with you on the call. John, two teams out of the South Atlantic Conference. They both know each other well, have played one time already this year. Queens coming away with a 3-2 win. But Tusculum, a team that did what teams like to do. They got hot late, ran off a lot of games in a row, going all the way back to September 29th. Started a streak with a win over Catawba, and then they really caught fire in the tournament. Knocked off Wingate 3-1 first round. Carson Newman 2-0 in the semifinals, and then defeated Anderson 2-1. So they come in the South Atlantic seed. They're the number 4 team. Winner of this game will go on to play the host team, Young Harris College, here at their home field on Sunday at 1 p.m. John, what do you know about these teams?
Well, I did watch the Young Harris Tusculum match early in the season. As you say, Tusculum, they started off with a couple wins and then hit the skids. They picked up 5 losses in a row. One of those was to our Young Harris College Mountain Lions. That actually started their skid. They went on to take a 2-1 loss at Lander. Then they lost the 3-2 match here to their rival tonight, Queens, and picked up a 4-3 loss at Lees McRae, and then picked up a 1-0 loss at Wingate. And then, as you say, they caught fire. From that point on, they won everything except for 1 draw and 1 loss in the middle there. So they're coming in form. They're going to look to play up top. They've got some fast gentlemen up front. They're gonna see what they can do. Unfortunately I've not seen Queens play this season, so I'm not sure what to expect out of them.
So two teams, again, that are familiar with each other. We've got a night that we have had rain all day long. If you're not familiar, the field is AstroTurf. Good field, of course, it's better than mud, but might be a little bit slick out there. And John, cold and going to get a lot colder as the night goes on.
It is cold. We're low to mid 40s at the moment. There has been a breeze for the last few hours. Hopefully that's dying down. If it does, then by the time these lads are nice and warmed up, it'll be comfortable for them. Foul already by Tusculum. Queens will have set piece opportunity just outside the penalty area. But no, as you were saying, we've had the rain. Much better than a big patch of mud, but on artificial turf, when that ball is wet, when it skips, it does definitely pick up speed.
Absolutely, and so see if that's a factor tonight. Of course, Tusculum has been here before. They know the field. They've been here. Not sure. Have we played Queens in years past?
If we have, it's been in a tournament. I don't think we've seen them in regular season.
So shot going to be coming from the right side for Queens.
A little too much on that, just puts it over everybody and out for a goal kick. Looking to curl it in on the back post.
And it will be Tusculum ball. Tusculum in black shorts, orange shirts, white numerals, and I love the unis for Queens. John?
I do like the stripes.
Like the stripes.
Stripes with the gradient fade from light up top to dark on the bottom.
I really like it. No doubt.
Although I will say it is difficult to read the numbers on the back of their jerseys.
It is that. I will say that.
We will do our best with pronunciations tonight, but please forgive us if we do botch some names.
But we will be better Sunday because we'll have time to study for whoever wins this game again. They will meet Young Harris, who is
Tusculum
gonna score.
with the shot.
Yes.
Left-footed strike. Keeps it low. Keeper was blocked by a defender. Saw it too late, and it was already past him. Tusculum takes a 1-0 lead.
And Tusculum got some fans over on the sideline because they went over and some fist bumps and some high fives all along the sideline, so that's good. Tusculum, I believe, Greenville, Tennessee. Sound right?
That sounds right.
I know I've been through there, but I can't remember.
It is up in Tennessee. That much I do remember.
Yep. Queens, of course, out of Charlotte.
If I remember, that's essentially the same thing that happened to Tusculum when we went up there and played them earlier this season. Mikey Rowe had a quick goal within 3 minutes, and it set the run right there. That's definitely what either of these teams would want for their start. Quick first goal, settle the nerves. Tusculum looking,
goal
keeping the pressure up.
16, Enrique Devins, his 7th of the season, off an assist for number 2, Dario Ubit.
Enrique Devins, 5'9" junior out of Brazil with the goal.
Tusculum University leads 1-0.
Assist coming from number 2, Dario Ubich. And for Devins, John, that was his 7th goal of the season. He is second on the team in goals scored.
It was a good quality finish. He kept it low and driven and skipped it off this wet turf. It picked up speed. He did exactly what's needed in this type of condition. That was an excellent layoff by Dario as well. He saw Enrique coming to it, and he just laid it right back into his path, right in strike.
So 1-0 is your score early. Tusculum draws first blood. Again, these two teams are out of the South Atlantic Conference. They played each other earlier in the season. Back on September the 12th, back when it was 90-plus degrees, I would say. 3-2 win for Queens.
And clearly from their reaction, they're not down by it. They're shaking it off. They're just putting it as early game jitters, and they're putting pressure on the Pioneers already.
Queens was 1-out in the South Atlantic Conference, but very good record coming in, so they were able to get an at-large bid. Six teams in this southeast region. One regional being played here at Young Harris, the other being played over at Lander.
Trying to remember who's in that first match at Landry. I know it was Anderson.
Right.
And I don't remember who the second team was. That shot no good as Queen was offside.
And those two teams are playing tonight, Anderson, and I had it wrote down and left it on my dresser. What a prepared journalist I am, right?
Well, I'm right there with you. Again, though, I'll use the power of Google and find out here shortly.
Well, I think maybe Google is what's kind of messed me up. Instead of doing my research, I wait to the last minute. But we can go get it.
Another offside. I believe it was Limestone, Tommy.
I believe it was.
It was, because I remember when the bracket came out, there were 6 out of the Southeast, and Young Harris had played 5 this season and beaten 5.
Yeah, that was and that's a good bracket over there with Limestone and Lander and Anderson. That's
anything out of the Southeast is
Yeah.
a good. I mean, we took 6 teams into the tournament, so there's a lot of quality of football down here in this part of the country.
Absolutely. Coaches for the squads for Tusculum, Alan Vital. For Queens, Oliver Correas. Prospective coaches for each team, and it's getting into national time. You know, you've got your you can swallow up some losses in the regular season. You can swallow them up in the conference, but when we get here, it's over with. Got to win to keep going.
Huge throw from the Queens player there. That's a very dangerous weapon. I'm sure they are going to look to use that the rest of the match. The half bicycle attempt well wide of goal. Got a goal kick for the Pioneers. It is a little quieter than I'm used to hearing on the field, Tommy.
Very much so. Keep looking for Coach McKeever down there. Keep listening for him.
Well, not just as coaches wise. I mean, just players and team members on the field as well. Young Harris, one of their key marks for success is the great communication that they have with each other on the field.
Yeah, I talked to the lads up in the dining hall tonight, and they're pretty excited.
As well they should be.
Absolutely. Number 1 team in the nation, Young Harris, the host team here, coming in. John, has Young Harris been number 1 before?
We have. I believe it was back in 13 or 14 we were number 1.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, we were.
Shot on goal is good.
That was a rocket of a right foot. Side netting.
Yep, just inside the post. Goalie did a good job getting over, but it was a bullet. It was a laser, just could not get there. And quickly, we're tied at 1 here early in this contest. A lot of offense early.
Tusculum going to the bench already as well.
Again, these teams know each other well. This is Injik Albert, freshman out of Roanoke, Virginia, checking in.
He's replacing the goal scorer for Tusculum, Clement Degorn. All I can figure is he may have picked up a knock or something. It's not normal that a starter comes out that early.
Queens University of Charlotte goal scored by number 10, Adam Ward. Off an assist for number 11, Edmundo Robinson. That's Ward, his 5th of the year from Robinson. Time of the goal, 7:44. Tusculum University 1.
Adam
Queens
Ward with the goal
University Charlotte 1.
for the Royals.
Substitution for
Edmundo
Tusculum,
Robinson
number 20,
credited with the
India
assist.
Alberts.
You know, I'm looking at the roster, just studying the names and where they're from, looking at I would call this almost not quite, but almost a local product. Number 19 for Tusculum, Roy Dote come from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'm guessing perhaps either Sevierville or Pittman, Gatlinburg. That's not too far away, John.
No, and then number 39, Jackson Richards, he's out of Knoxville.
Right.
But then again, as we've grown accustomed to here in Young Harris, on the men's soccer program, anything hailing out of Europe is a hometown for us now.
Right, absolutely.
There are quite a number of those as well. Quite a number on both squads.
Forward ball from Tusculum, trying to run it down. Queens kick the ball out of bounds over the left side. Quickly the ball will get in.
Queens got a number of people on their roster from North Carolina.
Right, notice that. So both teams really, Queens with players from North Carolina, several from Tennessee for the Pioneers, so recruiting the local area well. Ball thrown in from the side. Now Tusculum will look to advance the ball forward. Long pass over on the left side.
Tusculum player goes down in the box. I think he just slipped, and looks like the referee agrees with that.
Right. And I'm sure there's a little bit of a sheen out there. Pretty much got to be, because it did some raining this morning, John.
Oh, it definitely did.
Rained all day, which, you know, it is a wind playing through here, so maybe it's got a lot of it off the field, but I imagine it's still pretty slippery out there.
It is. It is, but players love playing on a slightly slick surface.
Right, and field looks great. Decent little crowd in attendance.
Yes, not bad at all, especially for the conditions.
Yeah, we're saying by midnight here it could be in the 20s, so it's
well, the way the wind has been blowing this afternoon, I can believe it. It's
Yeah.
definitely blowing the front end. Looking at the weather for Sunday as well, it's going to be prime weather for the lads.
Absolutely. Sunshine, a little bit cold, which they like the thought of that. They like the idea of the cold, but they like the idea of the sunshine.
Oh, they love both of them put together. Makes them think of a nice summer day at home.
Long pass down on the left side, header. Michael Hornsby trying to run it down, can't get to it, but Queens will control.
No foul, just collision between two players at that time.
Thoughts coming in 10 minutes forward. What are we looking at in both teams as they try to establish an identity out here, John?
Well, it looks like I've seen Queens do a lot more of attempting to go over the top, finding people wide, streaking down the sides. Tusculum is trying to, well, now they're doing exactly that as well, but in my opinion, up until now, they've been trying to control in the middle of the field a little bit better, keep the ball on the ground. I think Queens has got some speed on the two outside wings that they're trying to use to their great advantage by going over the top, and then obviously with the way the ball picks up speed on the wet turf, that favors a speedier player. Both teams definitely seem to have settled down into the match now.
Lots of offense early. Quick goal for Tusculum, and it wasn't long that Queen followed suit to tie on just a laser.
Yes, Queen keeps coming down this side, the left-hand side here to this player. Fortunately, I can't read his number. There's that long throw again, Tommy. And the scorpion kick goes over the goal, over the crossbar. That would have been a sensational goal had that actually gone in.
Absolutely. And you said it early, that pass is going to be a weapon for Queens tonight that
Oh,
they're
that-
going to look to exploit every chance they get.
Very dangerous throw in that high, that far into the penalty area. That may be part of the reason they keep coming down this left side, because if they get the throw in down in that corner, it's always a weapon. It's a set piece opportunity they can work with. Young Harris, much the same. Last touch by Tusculum over the end line. Queens will have the goal kick.
But yeah, we're not able to stream. We never got the link working. So, what's your?
Just disable the comments because people are commenting.
Mike should be able to do that.
He's not able to.
Yeah, he should be able to.
Decent job reading the play by Tusculum. They come away with it.
Let's see if I can. It's hard to do.
And looking to go long on the right side, communication breakdown. Nobody there. Ball will go out of bounds, and it will belong to the Royals. 1-1 your score. We're approaching midway through the first half. Quick offense right off the bat. Tusculum jumping out quick. Queens coming right back at you, and we're tied at 1. Both teams looking to advance to play the host team, Young Harris, #1 team in the nation here Sunday at 1 p.m.
Pioneers doing a fine job of moving the ball side to side on the field. A little impatient the last couple times coming down, attempting to force up top though. Queen seems to be doing a better job of clogging up the middle of the field and forcing Tusculum out wide. As you said, though, Tommy, both of these teams from the same conference. They're very familiar with each other. They're going to know each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's always difficult to beat a team once, even more difficult to beat a team twice in a season. A team that you see every year, year in and year out, just always makes it more difficult.
Of course, we know here at Young Harris, we saw Young Harris defeat a Francis Marion team 6-1, and it was a game that felt like it should have been more than that. And then semifinals of the Peach Belt Conference, Young Harris down 1-0 at halftime, had to fight for their life to get in the conference championship, which they won on penalty kicks against Lander. But yeah, it is hard to go out and beat a team, a quality team, and these are both quality teams, or they wouldn't be here. To get them two in a row. It's really tough.
Just a little too much pepper on that pass for the Pioneers.
Ball's fast, isn't it?
It is. Starting to hear some more chatter from both benches and field players. Match progresses.
And I imagine, I mean, you know, hey, it's what it is. It's a national tournament, first round. It's win and go on, lose and go home. And, you know, sometimes you're going to be a little bit tight to start with. But, yeah, they're both teams, you can tell, starting to really get in the flow of their game. And
Well, the jitters are gone. Both teams, there's no chance of either team keeping a clean sheet now, so that concern's out the window. Now you just settle down and you play.
Yeah. A lot going on here at the campus of Young Harris College. A national tournament here. Go a half a mile up the road, and you've got the Peach Belt Conference Carolina Women's Challenge in basketball going on. So lots happening here in the Brasstown Valley this weekend.
Always a fun time with lots of events going on
Yeah,
here.
I love it. I love it especially in the spring when sometimes you'll have events on 3 fields. I always love seeing that. Sometimes you can catch all three in a day. But real excited to be hosting this this round of the tournament. Not the first time, but we always look forward to getting it.
Not the first time, and definitely hope it's not the last
Definitely
either.
not the last time, absolutely.
I'm hoping we've got at least 3 more matches on this field before we move on to Pittsburgh.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it will be held here next week regardless of who's in it, right?
No.
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 The host team
It will be held here next weekend if Young Harris is still
So
in.
Young Harris has to win for it to
Yes.
be here. Okay, gotcha.
After the first 2 rounds, it goes to the higher seeded
seed.
team,
Okay.
which would be Young Harris.
Players go down.
Matter of fact, if brackets play out the way brackets are supposed to play out, then the winner of this match will go on to play Young Harris. Young Harris, again, as brackets are supposed to work out, Young Harris being the number 1 seed would win that match, and they would play here next weekend against, big surprise, Lander.
If Lander, yeah, if they stay.
Again, that's
through in
if
there.
brackets play out the way they're supposed to. Lander being the higher seeded team, the number 2 seed in the Southeast, they would come to us.
And Young Harris has played Lander twice.
Oh, a nice shot.
Nice shot and very nice save.
Shot from about 43 yards out. It started moving at the very end. The keeper unable to keep a clutch on it, but had to parry it out for a corner kick.
Yeah, Sebastian Kalk, 6'1", pretty big guy, long arm out of Germany. Needed every bit of that big frame to keep that ball out of the net. Corner kick coming.
That went over everybody, but Queens had a player back there. It looked like it was supposed to be that, and he was going to knock it back in.
Had the wrong goalie. It's Alejandro. Get that last name. You got it down good. Curiti out of Argentina. Also 6'1". Big guy, long arms.
Alejandro Cariti out of Mar del Plata, Argentina.
And as we often do, we look over at the sidelines, at the stands, and
Crowd's growing, Tommy.
crowd's growing. See some students coming down from the village heading that way.
The students, they do love the soccer here.
Expect to see a huge crowd here Sunday.
There should be, by all means, be a huge crowd. What a tackle by the Pioneers.
Well, this I know of one announcer slash restaurateur who has made it clear to the head of to the leaders of every sorority, fraternity, club, athletic group, band, you name it. We've asked them to come.
Are you saying that there's going to be discounts for all in attendance, Tommy?
No, I didn't tell them that. I just told them Young Harris was number 1 in the nation, and we need a crowd. It's going to be a beautiful day, going to be bright sunshine if the weatherman's right. Of course, weathermen and officials are accountable to no one. But, yeah, we're expecting a big crowd. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Royals whistled for the foul there. Pioneers a little upset. He wanted to play, keep advantage. He had outlet out here on the right-hand side. Referee brought it back, though. Be an opportunity for the Pioneers to set up put together a set piece opportunity here. See if they've got a set play ready. This I think it's a little far out for a shot, but I look for this to be more of a service ball in. One of their taller players, and they've got some large lads, get on the end of it with the head. That's exactly what he was trying to do. Unfortunately, it was not one of the taller lads.
Right. Well designed, though. Just say, not one of the taller lads.
I mean, he's not a short lad by any stretch, but I think one of the taller ones might have got a hair to it.
Not a Kevin Quafik type size that you like in that situation.
No, not quite. Both of these teams would be happy to see that they do not have to face Seba Andreasen in the next match, whichever one moves forward. And, Tommy, this is the tournament time, so there has to be a winner. There will be no draw at the end of 2 overtimes. If that's the case, we go to penalties.
Right.
Oh, a hard foul by the Pioneers.
So,
No cards
No
issued,
cards
just talking
issued.
to by the referee. It's the first real hard challenge of the match. I'm okay with that decision by the
absolutely.
official.
Let them play. I mean,
Have your discussion with them and let's move on. Now,
Yeah.
if it continues after that,
Sure.
then by all means. Queens with a player down in the penalty area. Not a head injury, though, so no obligation to stop play.
Trying to
Tusculum.
move forward, Tusculum. Shot coming, going to sail across the goal. Got some wind under it.
Well over the crossbar that time.
One your score. We got about 20 minutes to go in this first half. Both teams getting goals in the first, I would say Tusculum 3 minutes in, Queens about 7 minutes in. And both teams have really settled in and really getting into the flow of the game on both sides of the ball.
Queens just about snuck another one in on that back post on that free kick.
Right.
Did you see how low and
Sure.
driven that was? It just barely cleared all the players.
Again, Queens working that left side.
This time, Caridi did a little bit better job of being able to follow the ball in flight and was able to see it before it went in the side netting on him again. Royals now with another corner kick. Tommy, this is Queens University of Charlotte. Is
Yeah.
it? Is that similar to like some of the Loyolas? There's different ones in different cities.
You know, I saw that and I wondered about that. I mean, evidently there is another that you would think. I have just never heard it. I don't know what the other one would be. Would you?
I'm unsure.
Yep, that was one of the first things that I noticed.
Royals whistled for a foul on that corner kick.
Stop clock. Stop it. Okay, it was. We were like 3 seconds.
Referee stopped the clock while the goalkeeper's getting his shoes retied. Take this opportunity, Tusculum will, to make a substitution.
Yeah, but I just don't know if there's a school there. I've never heard of the school. Have you heard?
Number 22, Danny Gongora, coming in. He's out of Malaga, Spain, for the Pioneers.
Pioneer sub by number 22, Danny Gongora.
Tusculum with a decent job of retaining possession, driving down the field right now.
Yep, doing a good job stringing some passes together. Again, you made mention earlier, Queen's really effective in clogging that middle and forcing them more to the sideline.
Right-footed effort, well wide and over the crossbar by the Pioneers.
Still 1-1 your score. Two teams out of the South Atlantic Conference. The SAC, who know each other well. Queens getting a win back in September. when it was much, much warmer than this. 3-2, but then catching on fire late in the season. Tusculum, the Pioneers, went in, won 3 games in the SAC, and here they are. As I believe the number 4 seed in this Southeast Regional.
Good job by the Pioneers that time, shielding for Caridi to come out and corral that ball. Pioneers look to make a quick break. Royals do a good job of closing that down. Tusculum's the number 4 seed. Queen's the number 5 on the bracket.
Right.
And yes, Limestone number 3 is currently playing Anderson on the other side of the Southeast.
That being over at Lander.
Looks like number 3 seed Saginaw Valley has defeated number 6 seed Ashland on other sections of the bracket 4-3. They move forward and will be playing Southern Indiana on the 10th at 2 o'clock. Number 4 seed Ohio Valley has beaten Maryville of Missouri, the number 5 seed. They'll move on, Ohio Valley will, to play number 1 seed Tiffin.
Who knocked Simon Frazier off, John?
Oh, you put me on the spot, Tommy. They took a loss in their conference tournament.
Was that in the finals?
I think it was.
I think it was too.
Number 5 seed Wilmington out of Delaware. Winners over number 4 seed Lemoyne 4-1. They'll be moving on to face number 1 seed Adelphi. That'll be on the 11th at 1. Number 3 seed Mercy beat number 6 seed Post 1-0. Now Mercy will go play another Post, LIU Post. And that takes care of the current first-round matchups that are not currently being played at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking as you're calling some of those out that some of those games kind of Rust Belt, East Coast, they were playing in some torrential downpours, I'm sure. Some pretty bad weather up through the east.
Yeah, moved through here kind of quick. Fortunate for us.
Yeah, I got out of here about 2 or 3 o'clock. It was really soggy this morning. Now it's just bringing the cold in air behind it. But come Sunday, the sun will be shining. Probably going to be around high 40s at game time. Just be perfect weather, I think, for both teams involved. I think both teams are really going to love weather conditions come Sunday.
Oh, again, they'll feel the chill when they first step out right into the air. But as soon as they get moving around, get up to game speed, they'll love the temperatures.
And just speaking of speed, John, we've watched a few games down here. You've watched a lot more than me. But this ball is electric tonight, the way it's moving. This field is really fast, isn't it?
It is, and both of these teams are playing with a lot of pop on it as well. They're they're not holding the ball very long. They're moving it around quite frequently and with pace. Pioneers with the long throw in goes over most of the crowd of people and bounces and skids all the way to the back. Tusculum able to retain possession.
Kind of a contrast in style. Tusculum liking the ball at their feet, putting some passes together, and still looking for the long ball. You trying to take advantage of the speed, Queen. So it's nice contrast. Makes for an interesting match, don't it?
It is. You as a team, you've got to concern yourself with both ways. Obviously, Tusculum, they're more used to keeping the ball on the floor. I mean, they're going to play that way in practice. They're going to train that way. So obviously, you know, they're going to defend against that well. So Queens is going to try and play long ball over the top, take advantage of the speed like that. And you know, it's just more of a thinking match at this point. And the first team that makes the big mistake is going to have to pay for it. Right there, well, Queens with a good job of recovering, but still gives the ball away. Tusculum at the same time giving the ball away, trying to force into that final third. See the wind picking back up a little bit,
Right.
Tommy.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it on the glass here coming. You can kind of look at the tent down below us. It's kind of starting to contract in a little bit.
Both teams doing a decent job of moving off of the ball well tonight, finding space for outlet passes. Tusculum seems to be doing it a little bit better in the tight quarters, but Queens again looking for the wide spaces and finding areas out there that they can get open in.
Throw in on the side from the Pioneers. Again, they've done a good job. Here comes a shot looking for a pass inside. Nothing there.
Tusculum keeping the ball down here, keeping pressure on Queens.
Yeah, they really are, and it seems like it's starting to be more so, keeping the ball moving forward.
They're better in that tight space. They're not holding the ball as long, forcing Queens to have to chase the ball and chase players.
Throw in coming from the left side.
And we'll have a corner kick for the Pioneers. We've got a player down in the box. Well, he's slow to get up, but he's back up now.
Very clean game tonight, John. You think about two teams that know each other. I'm sure that you've probably got some seniors out here that they have played each other through the years. But, wow, they're just really keeping clean. Officials letting them play. Nice, smooth, fast-moving game tonight.
Yeah, so far it's been a pleasure to watch. And of course, the referee stops it for a second to have a word with some boys down in the goal area. Pioneers whistled for a foul.
One your score. A couple of sack opponents know each other well, getting after it, trying to move on to to play the host team, Young Harris, this Sunday at 1 p.m. at this same YHC soccer and lacrosse field. Young Harris, of course, out of the Peach Belt, #1 team in the nation coming in. 16-0-1. That's interesting. 16-0-1. I just that amazes me. The nomenclature of a win or a tie on that. They didn't tie, they won. What is the logic on that?
On the records, it goes down as a draw because you played your full regulation and overtime to a draw, but because you have to have a winner and it comes in penalty kicks, it's not awarded on a record as a victory.
So if I'm Young Harris, my record's 17-0. That's
Yes.
the way I look at it. I
Yes.
won.
Yes.
It's kind of like a guy told me when, talking about maybe a brawl or something. I don't play for ties. Yeah, I play to win. Somebody won, right?
Correct.
I mean, that just.
Well, that's just it. You have to have a winner in a
Yeah.
tournament situation. As such, I mean, you're playing. That's part of deciding the winner.
Sure.
So, yes, Young Harris won.
Yeah.
They are the Peach Belt Conference regular season and tournament champions.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask the question, who won, nobody's going to say, well, it was a draw, because somebody had to win.
It was a draw, but Young Harris is higher.
Young Harris won. Oh, I just love that.
But, I mean, that's part of football. And,
I know.
Wow. Or
was-
soccer, whichever way you prefer to call it.
Either one. My mind is 17-0.
I like 17-0 as well.
Absolutely. Sounds better.
I mean, either way, they're still,
Sure.
They're playing Sunday against the winner of this match that we're watching now.
Right. So, yeah, in my mind, it's a win because they won, even if it don't show it in
got
the
the-
stats.
They got the trophy for it.
Right. I mean, if I'm Mikey Rowe 40 years from now and there's a little red-headed Mikey sitting in his lap and he's looking through his records and said, oh, Dad, Granddaddy, this great season you had, you only had one draw. You didn't have quite a perfect record. You nearly had a perfect record.
And then Mikey brings out the picture, shows him holding the trophy, and he's got the T-shirt to prove it.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way, in that tournament. Senior Young Harris, Alex Jack, getting the
Player of the Tournament
player
award.
of the tournament.
Queen's doing a better job of moving the ball around.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been on this side of the field, hasn't it, John?
It has. Royals doing a good job of closing down space there. Fortunately, that ball skipped on the player. Karam's off of him out for a Pioneer throw. Picked up speed, and he just didn't get the timing right. Not able to control.
And again, Tusculum just doing a good job keeping the ball moving forward, right?
They're doing as good a job as they can at the moment.
Roughly 3.5 minutes to go in this well-played game. 1-1, both teams scoring early, and
It's been an even match.
yeah, it really has. It's been a fun match.
A couple different strategies coming in to the match. Queens was looking for the wide over the top ball to start with. Tusculum obviously looking to keep the ball on the deck for the most part, control quick passes, and then as you say, it's 1-1, so the strategies worked out well for both of them.
And you talk about how good Queens looks with the corner kick and with the throw-in from the side. We hadn't seen them down here much in the last 10, 15 minutes to do any of that.
No, we haven't. Pioneers have been the pressuring Pioneers for the last 10, 15 minutes.
They really have.
If you'll pardon the awful corny joke at the moment, the Pioneers have put Queens under pressure.
Under pressure. Yeah, I get it. Some people might not get that, John. I got it.
I figured with you knowing live at Leeds, you would definitely get that as well.
Absolutely.
Starting to get a little chippier now, Tommy.
Yes.
Queens is getting whistled for a few more fouls, and they're taking a little bit of exception to it.
And the vocal chatter's getting more and louder.
Referees having more and more discussions. Before long, it's not going to be discussions. It's going to have to be cards.
And while I've got it on my feeble mind, John, shout out to the Young Harris women's soccer. Finished out the season in style. Just nearly got in the Peach Belt finals and really ended up first year for Coach King, coming in late. Girls, situation of 3 coaches in a year's time. They really finished up strong, didn't they?
No, they did finish strong, Tommy. They had a couple big wins toward the end of the season and picked up that first-round victory in the tournament and nearly got the second one. I believe that was an overtime loss,
It
wasn't
was
it?
in overtime against a good Georgia College team, which they had defeated.
Georgia College team, the big surprise of the tournament.
Yeah.
Making it to the finals. They upset somebody along the way.
Sure.
I did not stick around after the men's match to watch the women's match, but I would assume Columbus State won that one.
Think so.
Pioneers looking to try and punch one in before halftime.
Yeah, at halftime, we're getting ready to get the 10-second countdown. We got a
Pioneer player down at the moment, but play is continuing. Now it'll stop, clock stop. I did not see what happened there, Tommy.
Didn't either. I was watching play at the middle of the field. If John's accurate, and he generally is, nope, he's shaking his head no. He's got 12 seconds. I'm sure he's pretty close.
What's our time?
11 seconds.
See, I told you were close. He's not the best in the business for nothing, John.
Correct.
Probably the best in the business with this screen.
You said it, not I. Throw in
10,
coming.
9,
10, 9,
8,
8.
7, 6, 5, 4,